Hello everyone, Jumbo. I'm Deborah the Storyteller with Word of Mouth Stories, and welcome to Elephant in the Room. Today we'll discover Fables by one of the most well-known storytellers of all time, Aesop. So, who is Aesop and what is a fable? A-E-S-O-P. Aesop is by tradition a Greek slave who lived between 620 and 560 BC. Now some believe he was of African descent, but lived in a place called Landum in South Greece near northern Africa. Now there's no mention of his stories until 100 years after his life, and he never wrote or recorded any of his stories. He told them orally by word of mouth. And centuries later, his stories have been translated into many, many languages. What is a fable? A fable is a short fictional tale. That means make-believe. The characters are usually animals whose voices and actions reflect human behavior. And sometimes the characters are inanimate objects like a tree. Fables teach us lessons that help us learn and grow. Things that make you go, Okay, boys and girls, here we go. It's story time, and we've all got a story to tell. Story time, all around the nation, all around the world. Stories are about boys and girls, men and women, me and you. We can create some stories too. Story time, go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain. You've got a fable to tell everybody. Fable time, fable time, fable time, fable time. His story, her story, my story, your story. Fable time, fable time, fable time. This is another story about helping those in need, as you'll see with the ant and the dove. A thirsty ant went down to the river for a drink of water. To get to the river, he had to go down the riverbank, and he did so by sliding on a blade of grass. Halfway down the river, he fell into the water. A dove perched in a nearby tree saw the ant's desperate plight. He quickly picked a leaf from the tree and dropped it down into the water. It landed near the ant, and the ant climbed aboard and was able to make his way safely to the shore. Once he was on dry land, the ant noticed a hunter with a net hiding by a nearby tree. He quickly ran to the man and bit him on the foot. The man dropped the net and the dove flew to a nearby tree. Once in the tree, the dove looked down and thanked his friend. "Thank you, my friend, for helping me be safe." And the ant looked up and said, "You are welcome, my friend." And the moral of this story is one good turn deserves another. And that is the end of that. Literacy is fun. Stories are all around us. In the books we read, the programs we watch, the songs we sing, the movies we enjoy. Stories are linked to everything we do. Boys and girls, how many of you have library cards? Let me see your hands. Good. I see you. Great. Well, library cards are very useful and they're valuable. More valuable than a credit card. You know why? Because with a library card, you can travel anywhere you want to go in the whole universe for free. And you can check out as many books as you like. So ask your parents to take you to your local library and register for your very own card. I've got mine right here. What's in your backpack? Hey guys, I got a song to sing. Will you help me?
Yeah!
All right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. You help me and I help you. Giving back for all we do. Friend and neighbor, sister, brother, one good turn deserves another. You help me, I help you. Giving back for all we do. Sometimes someone who is small is the biggest help of all. Everyone can do their part if they're clever, wise, or smart. Sometimes someone who is small is the biggest help of all. All right! This is a story about perseverance and self-confidence, about never giving up, about a rabbit and a turtle, better known as the tortoise and the hare. A hare is a very fast runner, just like most of his kind, but he was always teasing the tortoise, who just ambled along very, very slowly. One day, the hare said to the tortoise, "You are so very slow. You never get in a hurry. I suppose you don't even know how to hurry. You must be the slowest creature in all the world." Well, the tortoise stopped and thought for a moment and looked up at the hare and said, "I suppose I could go fast if I really, really had to." With that, the hare began to laugh. "So I suppose you think you could beat me in a race?" The tortoise stopped and thought for a moment and looked up at the hare and said, "Yes, I do." Well, with that, the hare doubled over with laughter and he said, "Okay, if you don't mind being silly and embarrassing yourself in front of everyone, let's have a race." And the tortoise agreed. Well, the proposed contest spread all around the town, and all of the animals were so excited, and they even made up a song. A race, we're going to have a race. No time to say hello, goodbye, a race, a race, a race. Well, on the day of the race, all of the animals showed up. There was Bruh Bear and Bruh Fox, Sister Chicken and Sister Crow, all of the farm animals, and even Alligator from the swamp showed up. Well, Bruh Bear was in charge of everything from start to finish. He got out his white flag and he said, "Okay, all of the contestants, it's time to line up." Well, that just meant the tortoise and the hare. So immediately, Mr. Hare hopped right up to the starting line. But Mr. Tortoise, he took his time, slowly, 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 and eventually he was ready. So Mr. Bear grabbed his flag and said, "Okay, on your mark, get ready, get set, and go." He threw down the flag and immediately the hare took off like greased lightning. He ran so fast that he left the tortoise in a cloud of dust, spinning round and round and round. Well, when the tortoise finally got his bearings, he started to walk. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And as he walked, he said, "I am slow, but I am steady. I'll win this race 'cause I am ready." Well, in the meantime, the hare was so far out in front, he couldn't even see the tortoise. He ran and ran and ran, and then he had an idea and came to a screeching halt. "Ark! I really want to make this hard for the tortoise. I want him to know that I won. So I think I'm going to wait right here for him until he's in sight, because I want him to see me cross the finish line." So he found a nice shady tree and sat down and waited. Well, it was such a hot day. He waited and waited, and pretty soon he fell asleep. Well, in the meantime, the tortoise kept on coming, and as he walked, he sang, "Never G-I-V-E-U-P, keep your H-E-A-D-U-P. That's right. He said, "Never give up, keep your head up. and he kept going and going. And as he did, he sang another song. He said, I think I can, I think I can. And pretty soon, he caught up to the hare. And he said, I know I can, I know I can. And he passed the hare. And then he said, yes, I can, yes, I can. And he was almost at the finish line. And all the animals in the town, when they saw the tortoise approaching the finish line, they yelled, hip, hip. And that woke up the hare. He woke up and he rubbed his eyes and he couldn't believe what he saw. The tortoise was about to cross the finish line. And the hare said, the race, I've got to win the race. And he took off running, but it was too late. The tortoise crossed the finish line and all of the animals said, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip, hooray! And once again, the tortoise sang, never G-I-V-E-U-P, keep your H-E-A-D-U-P. Keep your head up, never give up. And the moral of this story is slow and steady wins the race. And that is the story of the tortoise and the hare.
I got my library card. How about you?
Jumbo, everybody!
Jumbo!
We are the Woms.
What's a wom?
Word of mouth storytellers.
Well, I'm a wom and a wommy, word of mouth youth storyteller.
Hi, my name is Kamaya, and I'm reading a book called The Stag in a Pool by Aesop's Fables. A fine stag went to the pool to drink. When he had drunk deeply of the water there, he stood and gazed at his own reflection. His antlers looked magnificent. I really do have a fine pair of antlers, the stag said. They are handsome indeed. He turned away as he did, so he caught a glimpse of his legs reflected in the pool. What a pity, my legs are not as fine as my antlers. It is very true, my legs are far too weak and thin. I wish I could do something to improve them. A lion who had been creeping up on the stag suddenly leaped out at him. As once the stag fled the ground, oops, a head was open and free from trees. The stag's legs served him well. Soon he drew ahead of the lion. He dashed into a forest. Unfortunately, his fine antlers became tangled in the branches of a tree, forcing the stag to come to a halt until the lion caught up with him. What a fool I was, cried the stag as the lion leaped upon him. The legs I despised have served me well, while the antlers of which I was so proud of let me down. The moral of this story is what is worth most is often valued least.
I got my library card. How about you?
I hope you've enjoyed these stories. Now let's review some other activities you can do at home. Then you can visit the Word of Mouth website for crafts and other resources.